Hello there, I did not expect to make a second video. So in case you didn't know, I am Greek, I am somebody who has grown up in Greece, I'm half English, that's why I can speak English relatively well. I have a very mixed and matched accent, but nonetheless, I am sort of an intermediate between Greek culture, Greek mythology, which I grew up with, I know very well, I have a very intimate relationship with, and, you know, Smite, which is so weird. Um, but I would actually like to talk a little bit about Greek mythology and things that you may have not known and things I somewhat have a problem with. So first of all, let me actually just run through the list of Greek gods very quickly and tell you which ones are gods, which ones are minor gods, and which ones are monsters, because I see a lot of people get confused, especially when I tell them I'm Greek and they're like, oh, you worship Cerberus? And it's like, well, first of all, let me just say that almost nobody in Greece worships dodecatheism, which is the religion of the Olympian gods. It's what it's called, dodecatheism, coming from the Greek word dodeka, which means 12. So 12 gods. But yes, ancient people would have believed that a lot of these things were real, but they wouldn't have necessarily worshipped them. So let's start off with Achilles. Achilles isn't a god, he is a hero. There are plenty of heroes in Greek mythology, and a lot of them are in the game. Aphrodite is a goddess, but actually I'm not quite happy with how she's represented in the game. I feel like her kit is terrible. It's very badly designed, like she's terrible when she's played in the mid lane because you cannot kill her. She is bad as a support, except in the late game. I feel like Aphrodite needs a huge rework, and the reason I'm saying this is because everyone ignores the Spartan version of Aphrodite. The Spartan version of Aphrodite is actually super different to the rest of Greece's interpretation of Aphrodite. In Sparta, they saw very much war and love as the same thing. So there are only two gods in the Greek pantheon that are war gods. Those are Ares and Athena. But to the Spartans, so was Aphrodite. She was a war goddess, and you know, I would love to actually see that as a skin, or maybe even in her potential rework. So yeah, Apollo is a god, Arachne is a monster, Ares is a god, Artemis is a god, and Athena is a goddess. I should say goddess or god, but I won't. But here's actually another interesting point that a lot of people bring up, even Greeks bring this up, and I have a problem with them bringing it up. It's like, why are the only two war gods, Ares and Athena, supports? Why are they guardians? And here's the thing, it's because ancient Greek warfare was very much a defense is the best offense kind of mentality. Like, we had this thing called the phalanx formation. That's because we had big hoplon shields. The shields we had in ancient Greece are huge, they're massive, and they also link up one another. Not physically, they don't have a link, but you can put one on top of the other and sort of create a giant wall of shields. And the shields are so big they actually cover people from neck to knee. But the thing is, we wore bronze helmets and bronze shin guards. So, and also we held spears with the other hand. So yeah, that was ancient Greek warfare. Just create a massive wall of shields, spears, and helmets. And literally, in ancient Greek war, a lot of people don't know this, but when Greek city-states fought each other, very few people died. Very, very few people died. So it actually makes a lot of sense for Ares and Athena, the only two Greek war gods, to be guardians. It's the only thing that makes sense. If they were warriors, that kind of goes counter to what the Greeks used to do. So Cerberus is a monster. He is Hades' pet, quite literally. Chiron is kind of weird. He is immortal, which that is a weird thing. But he is neither a god nor is he human. He's sort of like this mythological creature. He trains heroes, and that's how we can kind of guess he's immortal. It's a guess, really, because he is mentioned so many times at so many different points and so many different heroes that it's just safe to assume that he is immortal, or at least lives in a really, really long life. Kronos is a minor god. Yeah. Hades. Hades is a god, as well as Hera, the only other H. But here's the problem I have with Hades. And every single video game, every single book, every single movie, every single TV show that involves Greek mythology somehow portrays Hades as a bad guy. Even Smite does this, which is so stupid because you would assume that they would have done some fucking research. Hades is a pretty chill guy when compared to the rest of the gods. You know, Zeus, the Bill Cosby of gods. But, you know, Poseidon is actually the god of earthquakes in Greek mythology. He devastates cities, but Hades is a pretty chill guy. Like, he doesn't resent his role in the underworld. There is no Greek myth or legend that mentions this. The only thing he has done which can be considered kind of bad is that he kidnapped Persephone, which is the daughter of Demeter. Dimitra in Greek, in case you didn't know. But, you know, even then there are some later myths that suggest that Persephone is in love with Hades, so is it a problem? I don't know. I don't condone the kidnapping, but again, when you're talking about kidnapping, the English word, it's kind of different to the Greek word that is used. Like, that word can be interpreted as he kidnapped her or he ran away with her, or so it's kind of hard to know. But yeah, I hate the fact that, you know, even Disney portrayed Hades as like a bad guy when in reality, in the real Greek myth, it was Hera that tried to kill Heracles. Not Hades, which is so stupid. I really wish that they would give him a visual update, because I like his kit. I like the fact that there is a god that's good at other game modes except Conquest. But for fuck's sake, I so wish that they would change the way Hades looks, because that is not how he is supposed to look. He's just a guy, a really chill guy. He has a pet dogs, whichever way you want to look at it. And then Hera. The only problem I have with Hera is that she looks younger than Zeus, because she is his older sister. Yes, she is his older sister. She is also his wife as well. Don't read too much into that, because Greek mythology is weird that way. Medusa is a monster. Nemesis and Nike are both minor gods. Persephone is kind of weird because she is a minor god, but she plays a major role in some cases, so it's kind of weird. She's not a part of the Dodecatheism, which is only the 12 gods of Olympus, but she does have a pretty significant role, especially in everyday life, because her mother, the goddess Demeter, is the goddess of the harvest, and when Hades kidnapped her, it is believed that he made a deal with her, that 6 months of the year she would spend with Hades, that's autumn and winter, and then 6 months of the year she would spend with Demeter, which is spring and summer. So this makes sense if you think about it, you know, goddess of the harvest and everything, and this is how ancient Greeks explained the seasons. So, yeah, it is a little weird, bit of a weird situation that Persephone's in. She is a minor goddess, but she does have a pretty significant role. And then there's Poseidon. Fun fact, actually, Poseidon used to be the head god back in Mycenaean Greece, which is the time of Achilles. Poseidon was the head god, not Zeus. But at this time, he wasn't so much the god of the seas, he was more god of earthquakes and horses. Yes, horses. Poseidon is the god of horses. Believe it or not, he is. Scylla is a monster, not a little girl. I found that weird. Thanatos is a minor god. He's one of those gods like Nemesis and Nike, where he is a representation of a concept. And then finally we have Zeus. And this is the reason I made the video. There was a poll done a while ago about which god should be reworked in the most current season of Smite, and I think Zeus kind of won by a landslide. I think he got like 50% of the votes. And here I'm gonna dispel some major misconceptions about Zeus. First of all, he shouldn't be as old as he looks. He's the youngest of his 6 siblings. He is younger than Hades or Poseidon. He is younger than Hera. So it is kind of weird that he is shown as an old as fuck guy. The other thing is the whole lightning thing. Zeus, yes, is the god of thunder and lightning, but that is by no means his primary function, okay? That is not what Zeus is like the definitive god of. Like, many gods are represent different things. Like, yes, Athena is a goddess of war and strategy, but she is also a goddess of wisdom. Poseidon, as I mentioned before, is the god of horses. Hades is the god of pomegranates. And Zeus actually has the most titles under his name. And lightning is actually a very, very small part of that. Lightning is just his weapon, like his primary weapon. That would be like saying that Thor is the god of hammers, which isn't true. Like, he is so many other things. He is the god of strength and war and so many things. I saw a documentary about that recently. It was fascinating. But Zeus is the god of skies. He is the god of the skies and the god of hospitality. That is his primary function. I have so much of a problem with Zeus's kit in the game currently. Even in Dota 2, where Zeus is also a character, I have a problem with that as well. Because in both of these games, he is just a generic lightning or electricity based character, which I think is so stupid, because Zeus can do so many things. First of all, he can change the weather. Zeus can shapeshift, which a lot of people don't talk about, but yeah, he can do that. Zeus can do so many things, and I think his kit in the game currently is terrible. It's a terrible representation of Zeus. Like, I would prefer if lightning was sort of kept for his ultimate. Like, sort of a ROM style ultimate with Zeus, where he goes into the skies and throws lightning down and then it has an effect. Like, I would prefer that a lot more to what Zeus has now. Like, Zeus's kit currently is ridiculously bad. Like, it only focuses on one thing that Zeus does. And Zeus, as I said, the lightning is a very small part of it. He is primarily the god of the skies and hospitality. And you know what? It's inevitable at this point that Zeus will get reworked. And I just hope that Hi-Rez, or Titanforge technically, rework him in a way that actually represents Zeus, not the public perception of Zeus. Like, Poseidon as well, his ultimate has released a Kraken. That's Norse mythology, so I can't exactly fault the game for being accurate, but like, it takes 5 minutes of research to see that Zeus is a lot more than just the god of lightning. So many things that you could easily implement into the game, like the shapeshifting thing. Like, you already have 2 abilities called 72 transformations. I don't see a reason not to have another one. Like, the whole transforms into bull, tiger, then eagle. It's sort of Zeus's thing. I don't know if you knew, but Zeus transforms into an eagle all the time in Greek mythology. It's one of his primary symbols. But yeah, I kind of see why Zeus's kit is like that. It was designed a long time ago. He was one of the first gods. But yeah, I just kind of wish that if he does get reworked, at least it will be better. So that's why I made this video. I will also, the next video I'm going to make is going to be about the Roman gods and their Greek names. And then after that, I'm going to make a very interesting video, and that is Greek gods and monsters that you have never heard about, that I would actually really like to see in the game. So with that, I'm ending this, and thank you to the Smite subreddit for making my last video quite popular. I just kind of hope that this one, even if it does reach like 100 views or like 20, I would be happy. So thank you very much for watching, and I will keep making these videos because I love Smite. I haven't played in a while because I have problems with my internet connection. I haven't played in 2 months, but I have been missing Smite so much. I so want to get back into the game, and I'm just happy I could still be a part of the community. Even if it's a very, very, very small part, I'm still happy about that. So thank you very much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.